Hello everyone! Today I want to talk about a topic that's very important to me. I'm actually talking about birth control. Before I want to dive in and start off talking about the pills and about all the facts that you may not know about how the pill works and how it affects your body, I want to start off telling my own story. So I'm 26 now, and I've started to go on birth control at a very early age when I was about 14 to 15 years old, because I went on Accutane, which is a very strong medication prescribed against severe cases of acne, as I had. So the doctors required me to take birth control because you were not allowed to get pregnant. So it was not because I was sexually active or whatever at that age. It was purely because I needed to take it in order to take the other medication. Ever since then, I was on and off birth control. There was some years where I wasn't on the pill. Like after I stopped with the medication, I went off it. But soon I realized that my period was super irregular. So my gynecologist advised me to go back on the pill. So I was again back on the pill in order to help me regulate my hormones and my cycles. And it kind of went on like this for years. I wanted to stop taking birth control because I didn't wanted to be on it for too long. But finally, about 1 year ago, or maybe now it's more 1.5 years ago, I decided to stop taking birth control, and I decided to no longer take it for good. So I decided to go off birth control because all of the information that I've gathered, I thought a lot about it, but I decided after almost 10 years of taking it on and off that it was time to go off it, because I was seriously concerned with the long-term effects that taking the pill would have on me. Also, I started to experience quite strong mood swings, which I thought could be related to my intake of the birth control. So I decided to stop, and also because at that time I didn't have a boyfriend, so there was no really need for that. Another reason really was that I wanted to test myself or test my hormones and see whether I'm actually able to naturally balance my hormones again. Birth control can be in some ways really wonderful, as when it was first introduced, it gave a lot of power to women, and they could take control over their own fertility and over their family planning. They could be sexually active for pleasure and not for the pure reason of getting pregnant. They didn't have to fear that anymore. It gave them a lot of freedom, which of course is wonderful for female emancipation. So having said that, it can or used to be a really good thing, but at the same time, what I want to stress in this video is that a lot of doctors or gynecologists don't really talk about how it affects your body, and they just prescribe birth control for various reasons like acne or hormonal imbalances or severe cramps, and they don't really talk about the side effects or just in general how it affects your body. I see those things really critical, and therefore I thought I would make a video to kind of tell you the things that no one else tells you. So the first thing no one tells you about is that the pill doesn't contain estrogen nor progesterone, but instead it includes hormones, or it contains hormones that are synthetic hormones or synthetic hormones, which mimic the workings of progesterone and estrogen. So there are no real natural hormones in there, but those are they're artificial versions of them. So how does the pill really work? For one, the synthetic version of estrogen prevents your monthly ovulation. So there's no egg that's released every month. While on the other hand, the progesterone or the artificial progesterone helps to thicken the mucus at the entrance of your cervix. So it makes it really hard for sperm to habit your womb. So it works in two ways, the pill. So for one, it prevents ovulation, and for another, it thickens or it builds up mucus so that the egg cannot be fertilized. So yes, that's how it works. So another important fact is that taking birth control actually shuts down your natural hormone production, because your brain actually registers the excess in hormones that you receive, and by that as a reaction it really stops producing those natural occurring hormones in order to rebalance that disbalance again, which is also why often women who go off the pill experience serious hormonal imbalances. That's just because the brain used to be really confused about that additional intake of hormones, which really interfere with your natural hormonal balance. And after coming off it again, it has to realize that there's no excess supply of hormones again, and gradually can come back to that natural balance. Another fact is, even though there's been mixed results on the impact of long-term intake of birth control on future fertility, there is a recent Danish study which suggests that the birth control actually affects your ovarian reserve, which is the number of immature eggs in your ovaries. So it actually was found that there were less immature eggs in women who took birth control for a longer period of time, which can be an indicator of reduced possibility of getting pregnant in the future. Another reason that, though a lot of people may already know, is that taking birth control unfortunately increases the risk of blood clotting, and therefore also increases the risk of thrombosis. Another interesting thing about the pill is that it was found that women who take the pill have actually signs of an aged ovary, especially of women between the age of 29 and 52 taking the pill. They found that the ovaries of women taking the pill were actually much smaller in volume than women not taking the pill. This could also be possibly a reduced possibility of getting pregnant in the future. Another thing is, as I said, because of the excess supply of hormones, those imbalances of estrogen and progesterone can actually lead to mood swings. So mood swings is a common side effect of birth control, in some cases being even more severe for people who are already predestined for mental health problems. It could be exacerbated by taking birth control. So that's just something you have to be aware of. Furthermore, women have naturally occurring testosterone, and taking the pill actually lowers your level of testosterone, which is also responsible for our sex drives, which is why many women who are taking the pill or taking birth control experience a reduced libido and have a lower sex drive than women who are not on the pill. Furthermore, a really interesting fact about birth control is that studies actually found that birth control has an effect on our brain's structure. So it was actually found that taking birth control can shrink certain regions in your brain, such as the lateral orbitofrontal cortex as well as the posterior cingulate cortex. Those two areas in your brain are actually responsible for emotion regulation, decision making, as well as a reward response. So taking birth control actually shrinks those regions. Furthermore, something that I came across recently is that taking birth control actually affects the choice in your partner. As you take the pill, your body actually, as it's prevented from ovulation, your body thinks that it's pregnant. And as nature has it, if you're pregnant, your body believes that you already found your soulmate. As normally you would be looking out for a partner that has very distinctive genes, because if you're reproducing with a partner with very distinct genes, you're likely to have a really healthy child. Women who are on the pill actually choose for more similar partners because their bodies already thought they don't need to find a reproductive partner anymore because they were already pregnant. So women on a pill tend to choose partners which have more similar genes, which is actually counterproductive for actual reproduction. And actually the effect of that is that many women, when they are in a relationship and take the pill and they come off the pill, there is cases where they are not as attracted to their partner anymore as they used to be when they were still on the pill. Furthermore, the pill was found to have an effect on our guts because it disturbs the microbiomes which are naturally occurring in our guts, and therefore women taking birth control have actually a higher risk of inflammatory bowel diseases such as Crohn's disease. Furthermore, because we know that our gut is responsible for a lot of other things, for the use of vitamins, it was also found that women taking the pill often have vitamin B12 deficiencies because the vitamin cannot be absorbed as well by your gut anymore because the pill interferes with your gut. And also other vitamins are affected, such as zinc. So if you're on a pill, it's good to get regular blood checks done to see that you're not deficient in any of those vitamins. Taking the pill can be an extra burden to our elimination organs, such as our liver, because as you may know, or even our naturally occurring hormones need to be disposed of after being used in order to prevent hormonal buildup in our bodies. So if we get extra intake of hormones, our liver needs to work extra hard in order to get rid of those excess hormones or those excess hormonal waste to prevent buildup. So it can be harsh on your liver, such as any other medication can be as well.